Hey, Mike. Good afternoon.
What's happening?
Two things. With the Giants, obviously, you said wins are important because his resume and record as a coach are not there. If you don't want to make
wins are important anyway. You know that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
My point would be here: if let's say they don't win another game this year, just in theory.
Right.
Would they not make that change a second year in a row?
No, I don't think they'll change it this year. But I don't think he'd be gone this year. But what I'm saying is, if you have that year, then next year you have to have a big year, or you wouldn't be here. So it impacts because his record's so bad that if you add a 1-15 to his record looks so bad you almost can't present it. And understand this: late season optics matter dramatically to the Giants. What the Giants want out of this season right now, I'm going to tell you what they want. They want this season to turn around where they win some games, where they get on a roll here for a couple of weeks, even if it's 3 or 4 weeks, and that they get to have an end of the season against the Cowboys where they can send Eli out in style and then move on. I think that's what they want out of this season, and I think they hope that there's a reason why people even go to that last game, and that they'll have played well over these 8 games. That's what they're looking for, because they're an organization that has pride, that they can't handle being like this. And that's the way it'll go. I don't expect Eli to be the quarterback next year. I think they're going to break. I think you heard John say now it's not a 1-year fix. I think they look at it where they know they have to rebuild these lines completely. But I think they'd still like to have a way of going out, have Eli go out in style, and not be an embarrassment the rest of the season like they've been for the first 8 weeks.
Mike, I agree with you. 2 of the first 3 picks in the draft need to be linemen. And one quick point on the Mets. All I care about is what they do this offseason and what they put out next year. And you got to get a solid catcher. If you're the GM,
the worst way.
Are you going after Grandal or Ramos?
I don't like Randall. I go after Real Muto. That's who I'm going after. I don't think I can get him, but that's who I'm going after. I mean, that's who I want. If I'm the Mets, that's who they wanted last year. You want Real Muto, who's available, but you got to give up a lot to get him. Albert joins us. What's up, Albert?
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
What's happening?
Listen, man, I was thinking about the Mets catching situation. I don't know how they weren't in on Zunino. I know that they made a trade today. I was thinking maybe they can flip Alonso and some other prospects. I know their farm system isn't the best, but maybe for Real Muto, maybe going after maybe a Brady out in Chicago to play first base.
I don't see them. I don't think they have a farm system that's strong enough. I don't think Alonso's going to bring a whole lot. They do need to listen. They need to upgrade a handful of positions here, and they need a big right-handed bat to put in the middle of that lineup in the worst way. They need 2 or 3 really solid right-handed bats. You can live with some things here. I mean, there's a couple of things you can look at. You could be realistic. You got Conforto. I can't say you have Alonso at first. I can't go there yet. I can give you the kid at second. McNeil's going to hit. Maybe he doesn't feel great, but he hits. I think Rosario showed you enough. I think he showed you that he improved. He got his batting average into the 250s. He got a bunch of extra base hits. He stole some bases. He played okay defensively. So I think he showed you that he's still a baby. So I'm okay there. Third base, you really need an upgrade big time at third base or catcher. Big time. Fraser could become a utility guy, or you need a big catcher, and you need a right-handed outfielder. That's what you have to have. You can live with Conforto. You might be able to live with Nimmo. You need a big right-handed bat at a couple of these positions. There has to be some big. And now you want to tell me Alonso's going to be a big first baseman? First year, that's a lot to ask. It really is. Luke in Babylon. What's up, Luke?
Mike, life is not always fair, and whether or not it is fair or not, Fred Wilpon will always be attached to this Bernie Madoff shadow.
That's okay, but you could attach him to it, but all you can tell me is that he gave him money. You can't tell me he's a criminal.
I'm not saying he's a criminal.
Well, that's what these guys were alluding to. They were alluding to a different game. They weren't calling him a gatekeeper is a whole different deal than saying he invested money with him. He invested a lot of money with him. Bernie Madoff was a friend of his. There's no question. No question. But that doesn't mean he knew.
I'm not calling him criminal. I'm calling him selfish because he's holding Mets fan hostage. Because I guarantee you, the second sentence in his obituary is going to be this Madoff scandal.
I totally disagree. I totally disagree.
Happen.
How is that the case? Explain this to me. It's the second line in his obituary. What was the profit or loss with the Mets and with Wilpon and Madoff?
Mike, the Mets are the sixth
answer the question.
Team in the league.
What was the profit or loss that they had with Madoff?
He was devastated.
You don't even know. You don't even have a clue. So how is that the line in their obituary? That's ridiculous. The Mets have already come back and been in the World Series after Madoff. And what people didn't get about the Madoff thing was not that the Mets were broke, was that they were no longer allowed to commingle accounts. They run a private real estate business. They run a private real estate empire. They were no longer allowed to commingle accounts, which gave them a shortage in the baseball account. In the past, they commingled their accounts. They were no longer allowed to. They were not broke. Most of the pieces that were bought up by their money. Steve in Manalapan, what's up, Steve?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
What's happening?
First time calling since you came back. Good to talk to you guys.
What's happening?
Hey, Mike, my feelings on this weekend with the Jets. Donald's out. We know we got McCown. He's a great backup quarterback, great quarterback line, but it's probably his last year. Would you want to take a look at Webb?
No, God, no.
You wouldn't want to see what you got in Webb?
Wait, you know what they think they have in Webb?
What do you think?
Nothing much. Because let me explain something to you. If Webb is such a hotshot prospect, why did every team in the league pass on him when they got him for free?
Well, I get your point there, but I mean...
No, wait. You don't need any more point than that. You don't need any more point than that. He was not picked up by any team in the league. There are horrendous backups in this league. He did not get picked up by one team. What does that tell you?
Yeah, I guess you got a point, but he never really got a shot with the Giants.
Bowles is trying to win games here.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that, but
so who gives him his best chance to win the game Sunday?
Absolutely, we know McCown.
Well, that's the idea. The idea is
he
to
may
win the
even
game.
give us a better chance at this point than Donald.
And why would they be looking at what is their future with Webb?
Well, I don't know. That's what no one's seen.
What do you mean you don't know? They have a franchise quarterback.
Oh, no, I know that. I know.
So they don't have any issue with him. He could stay here maybe as their backup someday and never play. That's what could happen. They have a quarterback, so they have no interest in playing Webb. No team would have less interest in playing a young quarterback than the Jets. Sonny and Malvern, what's up, Sonny?
Hey, Mike, how are you? A couple things with Eli. I hope he rides out the season. Listen, I would hate to see him end his career on the sidelines, and every Giants fan I think would hate that.
Let's say if he does, he does.
Yeah, I know. I just would hate to see that. And you were talking about the Hall of Fame yesterday with Eli. Obviously he's got my vote. By some measures, Mike, you can consider Eli the most clutch postseason quarterback of all time. If you look at all those postseason games, including the Super Bowls, obviously, I think they were underdogs 7 out of 11 times, and he went 8-3. So obviously that speaks volumes. And do you add in, Mike, his durability?
Durability is a big factor. Absolutely a big plus. At a position where people get hurt all the time, durability is an enormous factor. Absolutely. He had rare durability. Never suffered an injury. Played every game. Incredibly rare durability. Absolutely big factor. And his postseason numbers are terrific. And his Super Bowls, where some lunkhead called and said, he didn't do anything in those 2 games. I mean, didn't do anything. I mean, you wonder what these people are watching sometimes. One thing I wanted to mention, Notre Dame quarterback out this week. Now, he's out against Florida State, which won't matter. You could quarterback against the Irish against Florida State and win. That's how bad Florida State is right now. But Wimbush, who started the year as their quarterback, will be the quarterback. Book's got a rib injury. He'll be back, they said, for the Syracuse game on the 17th. But he's going to sit out the Florida State game this week. And Wally Triplett died. Triplett died. The old Detroit Lion. He was, let me look him up. I think he was 90. He was in his 90s. I think he was 92. The reason why I bring him up, first of all, he was a halfback for the Lions I think his first year was 49. I bring him up for two reasons. Number one, he was Triplett was the first black player, black starter at Penn State, and he was the first black player drafted and to play in the NFL, which was, I think, in 49. I'm pretty sure it was a halfback and a kick returner, and he was 92. Died today at 92 with the Lions. Played 49, 50, went in the Korean War, came out, played a couple more years, but he was the first black player in the NFL. John in Westchester, what's up, John?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
What's happening?
So I got a trade deal, and if you will allow me to defend it, if you're not in favor of it. So this is the Yankees trade to the Mets for DeGrom.
Oh, no, stop. Stop.
Oh,
No,
please,
stop.
Mike,
No,
Mike,
wait, so now stop. You know there's not a chance. You got a better chance being president than you do having this trade happen.
So, Mike, please hear this out.
It's not happening, though.
Can I just throw it out there?
Go ahead. Let's have fun with it.
Right,
go ahead. Because just like all was going to happen all summer. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Stanton, Sanchez, Bird, and Sonny Gray, and the Yankees pick up Stanton's
First of
contract.
all, you think the Mets are taking Stanton's contract? Are you out of your mind?
The Yankees are going to pick up half of it.
Oh, they are they? You think the Yankees are doing that? Are you serious? The Yankees are picking up $150 million of empty money? Hey, John, you got too much time on your hands. I mean, you think the Yankees are picking up $150 million of empty money? You are nuts. And then paying DeGrom $200 million? So DeGrom cost them $350 million to pitch for him? And the Mets not trading DeGrom to the Yankees anyway. Should have hung up on him. Eric in Long Island, what's up, Eric?
Mike, good afternoon. Mike,
what's happening?
Quick college football. There are many out there, Mike, who believe that Georgia is the only real team out there that has a chance at all of giving Alabama.
I don't think anybody has a chance, but they do have the best chance.
The best chance. So my question to you is this. It's a kind of a two-part question. One, is there any scenario you could see where Michigan or Notre Dame both win out and still get jumped by Georgia? Is there a chance where Michigan and Notre Dame win out and still end up not in the top four? Or is there a scenario where Georgia plays Alabama in the championship game, maybe loses by 2 or 3 as a two-loss team? The committee says, hey, these guys can play without,
No.
Or Michigan and Notre Dame
not getting a second
Are Michigan
team.
and Notre Dame both safe if they went out?
You're not getting a second team. You're not getting a two-loss team in from a conference for a second team ever against those kind of Titans. If Michigan and Notre Dame win out, they're in.
Even if Georgia wins out and beats Alabama in the SEC championship game?
No, wait a second. No, listen. If Georgia wins out and beats Alabama, it changes everything.
Well, then who's out? Who's left out? Michigan or Notre Dame?
Everything. You know what? If Michigan and Notre Dame are undefeated,
you're
not getting Alabama.
Wow.
You're not under those scenarios. Clemson undefeated, Notre Dame undefeated, Michigan runs the table, you're not getting Alabama. Georgia's going with one loss, Alabama's out. Under that scenario. But it's not going to happen. So, I mean, there's just no, but listen, you asked me a question. You asked me if Michigan and Notre Dame win their games, will they win? Will they get in? The answer is yes. Jason and Clifton, what's up, Jason?
Mike, I got a question for you. When you look at the Patriots, they had 6th-round quarterback in Brady. Right now they have 2 undrafted guys on the line. They also have a 5th, a 4th, and a 3rd round pick on the line. They obviously have very good talent evaluators and a system in place.
Well, the Brady
now going into the season for the
Brady
Giants,
thing's a once in a lifetime thing, and they have had many bad draft picks through the years, many.
But Mike, they're linemen though, 2 undrafted guys, and
that's
a lot
how the
of
linemen. That's how linemen are on every team. The linemen
right,
you get from everywhere.
But my question's on the Giants. Going into this season, everybody had us a 5 to 10 top offense going in,
right.
And you had the line.
Going on the premise that that the line would be corrected, and it wasn't.
But Mike, is this a result of talent? Because you're not going to tell me going into the season that with 30 teams or above us in talent.
It's a level of a couple of things. Here, it's very easy to understand. Number one, Flowers, they put him on the line still. He couldn't play. Number two, they spent $5 million a year for a right guard who couldn't play. They moved Jalapio in at center. He broke his leg, so now he's out. Hernandez is a rookie, so you got to deal with the rookie stuff. And the left tackle has played very poorly. Add that up, and you're gone. That's it. There's your line. It's easy to do. It's easy to come up with why it doesn't work. Look at Dallas's line right now. They fired their line coach. They're playing terribly. The reason why? They're down 3 guys from 2 years ago, and they're not working. It happens. George in Plainview, what's up, George?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good,
a couple of quick points. First of all, listening to you talk about Halloween and John's Bargain Store just brings back such good memories because you and I are from the same era. What wonderful times they were. It's just incredible how things have changed.
They have changed, yes.
They have changed. On the Jets, I'm really happy Darnold's going to get a chance to sit because I think for the first time now, the pressure's off. I mean, the pressure of him playing in New York is tremendous. If this was San Diego, nobody even care.
I disagree. I think he's handled it very well. The people I've talked to told me they haven't seen him blink.
Well, I agree, but I just think it's going to be
got a good
nice
makeup. Listen, I don't think it hurts him. George, I don't think it hurts him at all. I don't think he needed it. I think it's fine.
Huh?
I don't think he had to have it. I think there's sometimes guys need it, but I don't think it hurts him either. I don't think it's going to say that.
No, I don't.
I don't think it's going to hurt him at all.
I think he's going to actually have a little smile on the sideline watching go on and him learning from the side.
Maybe.
Last point. Madoff's kids didn't even know.
No, I know that. That's what I said. That's why I said it's not even fair. And if you're going to make accusations, then you got to come on. You're going to make criminal accusations about somebody. You got to have some information. If you have information, I'll let you say it, but you got to give me your name and you got to put your last name on there and you got to stand behind it. You can't do it anonymously. That I won't let you do. Because now you're making statements that are damaging to people. And you can make them. I'm not going to shut you down for making them, but you're going to have to put it up before you do it. Now, small business owners, you know that doing business in New York needs straightforward communications.